How you doing this week? My name is Jarek Robbins. I just wanted to reach out to you real quick with a very simple message. I've been asking a handful of my clients, what was the one thing that made the biggest difference when it came to scaling their business to $1 million in revenue, $1 million in profit, and or for some of them, hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue and profit. And each week I've been sharing with you a simple insight that they shared with me, just kind of guiding you in the right direction of things that have worked. Now, the reason this is important to pay attention to is my thought, and it's going to come into the conversation today. Why in the world would you try to reinvent the wheel? Now, I'm not talking about innovation. The world does need innovation, creativity, looking for new ways to do things. But it's kind of silly to not start where the last shift left off. Does that make any sense? Meaning, if you're working on building a car and you showed up for the morning shift, would you want to start from scratch, or would you want to start wherever the last shift of people left the car in the production process? Meaning, if they already had the wheels on, would you really want to go back to let's put together the engine from scratch? For most people, the answer is no. But for some reason, we repetitively do this in other categories of our life. We want to start from nothing and say we're self-made. And there's something silly about that, because if you read books, if you listen, if you pay attention, if you find a mentor or a coach, if you find someone who can guide you, my goodness, you get to start the game where they finished or where they got the furthest to, if that makes sense. And so let me throw this up on the screen real quick. I asked this client of mine, here's the actual text messages of her and I chatting. And she has an amazing business. She's a good friend of ours. And we asked her, hi, to get to $1 million plus in revenue, what would you say was the one thing that made the biggest impact or difference on your journey to get the result? She goes, hey, Jarek, by far, it was investing in the mentors or coaches. There's a key here that had already accomplished what I wanted to do. I believe I wouldn't have gotten to seven figures without it. Now, this is interesting. Have you, and just the question I have you, let me find a better marker than that. Have you invested into learning, I'm going to draw a book, learning what it takes to go get the results you want? So if you want these results, have you reverse engineered it and went and learned what it takes to actually get those results? Now, when I sat back and thought about this, I said, what is this? Like, why would someone do this? And where have I done this? And so I was just attending a group, and I went and found someone who for the last 40 years has been buying, selling, and optimizing businesses. And what I look at that is, if I were to draw this out in an image, this person started right here with whatever information, knowledge, experience they had. And this is year zero when they started, and now this is 40 years into it. So for 40 years, this person has been growing, failing, learning, failing, learning, growing for 40 years. Let's say in 40 years, this is where they were able to figure out how to get to. Now, this specific mentor I've been learning from, he's done significantly well. He just cashed out a couple businesses for over 9 figures. So he's got a track record. He's done it. Now, how intelligent would it be for me to come all the way back here and say, this is where I'm going to choose to start in this? I don't know about you, but I don't think that would be the smartest thing in the world, when I could go spend time with him here. And now my journey gets to start somewhere right here. Now, my results aren't as big as his yet because I haven't done the work. I haven't done all this work. But in the last 3 years, I've invested $120,000 or $115,000 in working with this gentleman. And in the first year, we grew 75% as a company. Year 2, we grew 42% as a company. Year 3, we grew 17% as a company. If we add that up, that 75%, let me get a calculator real quick. What is this? 75 plus 42 plus 17. So we've grown a combined 134% growth in 3 years of working with this person. Now, question. How much have you grown in the last 3 years, business-wise or financially? Because I told this number to someone. I told them we invested $115,000 into working with this person, and they went, "Oh my goodness, are you joking? That's insane. You could have bought a house." What they didn't ask is what was the return on the investment. We put 115 in. How much came back? Now, I'm not going to tell you that specifically, but I will tell you it's in the forms of millions of dollars. And it's been an unbelievable experience. What I will tell you is in our last meeting we just had, there was a lady in the group, and she told a little bit of her story. She said she met this gentleman and started working with him 18 years ago. And 18 years ago, she was $80,000 in student debt, and her brother paid for her to come and attend to work with this person. Over the last 18 years, she figured out how to build a business, how to organize the bits and pieces, the bolts and nuts of how to put it together, how to acquire leads, how to convert those leads, how to build a team, how to train her team, how to do all these bits and pieces. And now, 18 years later, she does 7 figures in EBITDA. And to go from someone who was $80,000 in debt, and she even cried the first 2 meetings because she didn't know where it was going to go, to now being a business owner who's doing over 7 figures in profit every year is remarkable. And the key was she didn't have to start from scratch. When she met this person, got to start, in his journey that probably would have been right here. She got to start right here and go from there. So, in what this client was sharing with me, the smartest thing she discovered to scale her business, and she's in the beauty business, the smartest thing she did to scale her business was find people that had done enough of this journey and choose to learn from them further along down the road instead of choosing to start her journey at zero with no support, no mentors, no background, no coaches, and nothing to help get her some lift. So really simply, I'm going to throw this out there. I'll give you one more clue. When you find something that works, AKA when you start seeing results like this over year, this guy had something really smart. Where did I put it? Is it here? Yeah. So imagine if this guy would have found something that worked, something that turned 5,000 into 140,000, and right here he goes, "I'm done. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need any more of that." No, that's not what Warren did. Instead, he kept freaking going. And look what happens. Look what happens when this dude keeps going. And all of a sudden, he picks up a traction at the end here and just goes to the moon. Now, if he would have quit at any one point, once he found what was working, that would have been a really dumb idea. Because now, and looking back, looking forward, we don't know. We could have said, "Hey, you know what? You did good enough. You made 140 grand. Why don't we quit here, go do something else?" That's not what he did, though. He said, "Hey, I found something that's working. I'm going to stick with it." That was the same decision we made. If we would have had 1 year of 75% growth and then said, "We're good," well, we would have missed out on 42% growth on top of that, and then we would have missed out on another 17. We would have traded 75% growth instead of getting the last 3 years of 134% growth. So the other key here is when you find something that works, stick with it. Let it compound over time for you. Let it get larger and larger and larger. And so two things. Number one, let me go back here for a sec. If you want help with this, I've been studying, researching business specifically for the past 7 years. I've been working with this gentleman in depth, learning, growing, applying. We've certainly gotten the results in our business. To do a little mini brag for a second, what's more important than the results we get? Oftentimes, we listen to what people talk, what they've done. That's great. But in my job, it's what I could do for my clients is more important. So last year, I don't know if I have it up here. Let me pull it up real quick. Barbara and Dean, they're two clients of ours. I am so proud of them. These two were able to grow their business by, here they are. Let me throw this on the screen. So they were able to grow their business overall by 50% revenue year to date last year. This is during the pandemic, and they are specifically in a healthy meal business. So they're in the food industry, which the food and restaurant industry just got demolished last year. In 2020, these two and their wonderful little one, their baby here, were able to grow their revenue by 50% year to date, grow their profitability by 171% year to date, and grow their net profit by 195%. Bravo to their team. Bravo to them. My goodness, I'm so proud of these two. If you're in New Orleans, go visit them and get a healthy meal. The key with that is I am thrilled to be able to help our team, our clients, our group achieve results like that. If you're watching this live, there's a link, and you can go to businessprofitaccelerator.com, and we can have a quick 15-minute call. I have a little quiz I can give you, and we know exactly if we can or can't help you. There's some businesses we can't help, but there's a little quiz I can give you. We'll email it to you. It takes 3 minutes to complete. If you complete that, I can immediately know if I can or can't help, and I won't waste your time. If there's something I can't do, I'll just tell you. But if I can help you, we'll set up a longer call, and we'll build a plan together for about 45 minutes where I can show you exactly where you need to focus and what you need to do. If you would like that kind of help, you can go to businessprofitaccelerator.com, fill out the quick little intake form, or if you're watching this on a web page, there should be a little box right below this where you can fill out that form directly on the page. So if you'd like help with this, I'd be happy to help. I have a track record of helping people with this, and I'd love to help you if we can. So complete the form. Love to chat with you. Final piece to wrap up on here is, when do you want to get started? And this is one of my favorite thoughts. I saw a comment that says, I've tried to find one. Maybe I can give you a couple tips, but if I were to scroll here, let me find a blank page. If we call this now, this is where we are right now. And we're going to draw a line. This is called the future. So this shoots out into the future. And let's say this is the next 5 to 10 years in your business. You kind of have three options. Number one, you just do nothing. You do nothing. It's pretty easy to predict your results are going to look like this. Over time, your results are just going to go down. This is the do nothing. You do nothing, your results are going to go down. Number two, this is the, let me find a different color here. We'll make it, how about orange? This is the I tried, it didn't work. I tried something else, it didn't work. I tried something else, it kind of worked, didn't work. This is the, shiny object syndrome. We call that SOS. They keep trying, and they just can't figure out why it doesn't work. But the good news is they don't ever drop below this, and they also, sad news is, don't ever get above this. They kind of stuck right in this same little zone, making the same over and over and over again. Finally, there's a third group Third group kind of starts chugging along, nothing special, but over time they pick up speed and it looks like this. And if you look at this, what's crazy is right here, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but the people in the blue group and the people, they talk a lot of shit to the people in the green and the red. They go, why are you trying so hard? What are you doing? What's the point? Your result doesn't look any different than my result. I mean, it's a little different, but really, is it worth all that time, all that effort, all that focus? Now, what's crazy is, in the beginning, they're right. It doesn't look like much difference right here. But watch where all the magic happens. Right here, let's say the difference here is one line, one segment. But watch what happens right here. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 segments of a difference. Watch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are not the same size, but you get the picture. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Holy crap. We're 11 legs apart here. That's a big difference over time. So the question is, what do you need to start doing now in order to make up this difference? Because the longer you wait, the more risk, the more expensive it costs, and the harder it is. You catch that? Look at how much effort, all these things at effort here, and all this risk just to try to make up the gap. Versus if you get started all the way back here in the beginning, my goodness, you got one little segment right here to jump lines. And so my call to action is, who do you need to go connect with to jump lines? Who could get you up on that green line in your business and get you moving so that you don't have to wait to do 5 times the work or 10 to 20 times the effort here? Who could save you all that if you just put 1 times the effort in, if you had the right effort right here at this moment and get you up there? Again, this is what my client said. By far, investing in the mentors or coaches who had already accomplished what I wanted to do, I wouldn't have gotten there to 7 figures without it. So who could help you bridge that gap? We would love to. If you need someone who wants to pour into you, we would love that opportunity. Again, you can go to businessprofitaccelerator.com or there should be a link above or below this video you can click to take that quick little intake survey. If you're watching this on a web page, there's a form right below it. You just fill that out. We'd love to chat. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. We have a business accelerator that we focus on helping business owners make this kind of growth happen starting in April. So we'll probably have, I know we have a group coming over, so we'll probably have, 5 or 6 spots open for that. If you're interested, there are a few qualifiers, which we can chat with you if you decide you want the help. But fill out the form, love to chat, and hopefully we can help make a difference in your business like this as well. Have a great day, everyone.